My husband grabbed this wreath from the dollar store and I converted it into something extra sweet. I rolled air dry clay into balls and I made 3 different shapes. For the first one, I kept it circular and just flattened the bottom out. For the next ball, I gently pressed it down and then I used a heart cookie cutter to cut out a heart shape and I smoothed out the edges. For the third one, I flattened each side to make a square and I made a total of 14 shapes. I let the clay dry, which took about 3 days because it was pretty thick. I used brown acrylic paint and painted all of the shapes. I let that dry and painted a second coat to cover them completely. When that was dry, I applied red or white fabric paint onto the top of the clay shapes to resemble icing. Some of them I did a little squiggly lines, and then some of them I did straight lines. I let that dry, which took several hours. And I skipped this next step, but if you know you're going to be putting this outside, I recommend covering the clay shapes when they're completely dry in Mod Podge. I like using matte Mod Podge and just paint over the whole thing with a paintbrush and let it dry. Next, I grabbed my wreath and I used hot glue to secure it to cardboard. I trimmed the extra cardboard around the edges and I used hot glue to secure ribbon to the back side of the heart going all the way around the edge. I flipped it over and I painted the cardboard white with acrylic paint. Once dry, I grabbed some mini cupcake liners. I glued the clay shapes into the cupcake liners and then I glued that to the cardboard. And now I've got the sweetest wreath that looks like a box of chocolates. I'm actually so impressed how real the chocolates look. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Hit subscribe for more DIY and crafts.